All right, cutting across live media briefing from Lilongwe, Malawi by India's External Affairs Ministry on President's visit.
The visit I have with me Shri Arun Kumar Chatterjee, Secretary CPV and OIA, Ministry of External Affairs, Shri Ash Gopal Krishnan, High Commissioner of India to Malawi, Shri Mayank Singh, Joint Secretary East and Southern Africa, Ministry of External Affairs, and Srimati Navika Gupta, Deputy Press Secretary to India. Now I will request Secretary CPV and OIA to brief the media on the visit. Sir.
Thank you, Rajesh. Masbera Bawanji. Namaste and good afternoon. Dear friends from the media, thank you for joining us for this special briefing on the visit of the Honorable President of India to Malawi. As you all know, the Honorable President of India embarked on a state visit to 3 countries on 13th October 2024 from India. I have already briefed you on her visit to Algeria from 13th to 15th October and to Mauritania on 16th October. She is now on the final leg of her state visit, and that is to Malawi. The President of India arrived in Malawi on the morning of 17th October from Mauritania. This is a historic visit, as it is the first ever visit by the President of India to Malawi in the last 60 years since the establishment of diplomatic relations between the 2 countries. Upon her arrival in Lilongwe yesterday, as a special gesture, Vice President of Malawi, His Excellency Mr. Michael Biswick Usi, received the Honorable President at the airport, where she was accorded a ceremonial guard of honor by the Malawi Defense Forces. There was a 21-gun salute in her honor. The Vice President thereafter introduced Honorable President to several members of the Malawi Cabinet of Ministers and other senior dignitaries. Friends, coming to the background of this visit, India was one of the first countries to establish diplomatic relations with Malawi soon after the country's independence in 1964. India and Malawi share a cordial and friendly relationship reinforced by strong people-to-people ties which span over 140 years. Malawi remains one of our special partners in Africa, and India has strong development partnership with Malawi. It is in this context that the visit of the Honorable President assumes great significance. Coincidentally, this year also marks the 60th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between our 2 countries. I must add here that our people-to-people ties predate our official relations and go back over a century. Now coming to the engagements of the Honorable President began in the morning of 17th October with the India-Malawi Business Roundtable, where she delivered the keynote address. Minister of Trade and Industry of Malawi, His Excellency Mr. Sosten Alfred Gwenge, also attended this business roundtable, which was organized by the Confederation of Indian Industries. There were several other ministers from the Malawian government present at this forum. Over 60 companies from both India and Malawi participated at this event. In her keynote address, the Honorable President of India observed that there was immense scope for enhancing cooperation between India and Malawi in several fields, including agriculture, mining, energy, and tourism. She expressed the belief that this roundtable would prove to be an important milestone in developing trade and economic cooperation between the 2 countries. The forum is continuing even today. Later in the evening of 17 October, a community interaction was held where the Honorable President of India addressed the community members of Indian origin and Indian nationals who are living in Malawi. The Indian diaspora in Malawi is estimated to be nearly 15,000. Our friendly bilateral relations are reinforced by the strong people-to-people ties. In her address, the Honorable President appreciated the contribution of the Indian diaspora to the growth and development of Malawi and described them as an important bridge between the two countries. She urged them to take part in the development journey of India. The engagements of the Honorable President of India began today morning by laying of a wreath at the National War Memorial in Lilongwe, which also commemorates the fallen Indian soldiers during the two world wars. Thereafter, she visited and paid tributes at the mausoleum of former President of Malawi, Dr. Kamuzu Banda. Honorable President thereafter held official talks with President of Malawi, His Excellency Dr. Lazarus McCarthy Chakwera, at the State House. There was a tete-a-tete between the two leaders, followed by delegation-level talks. The meetings were extremely warm and friendly. During the meeting, both leaders discussed a wide range of issues on the bilateral cooperation between India and Malawi. Both sides reaffirmed their mutual trust and strong commitment towards enhancing the bilateral partnership for progress and prosperity of the people of both the countries. Both leaders agreed to enhance cooperation in the areas of capacity building, economic engagement, development partnership, and people-to-people exchanges. Following the bilateral talks, both the leaders witnessed the signing and exchanging of 4 memorandums of understanding in the fields of art and culture, cooperation on youth matters, sports cooperation, and pharmacopoeial cooperation. I would just like to give you a little bit of idea about each of the MOUs that were signed. The MOU on sports cooperation will provide for a framework to strengthen and encourage cooperation between India and Malawi on sports matters through events and activities organized by both countries on the basis of reciprocity and mutual benefit. The MOU on cooperation on youth matters between the two countries will focus on strengthening cooperation between India and Malawi in areas such as youth exchange programs, youth conferences, emerging youth issues, among others. The one on cooperation in the field of arts and culture will strengthen and deepen friendly cultural relations between both countries in the field of music, dance, theatre, art, archaeology, archives, library, and museum, to name a few. The one on pharmacopoeial cooperation will ensure better scope for development of generic medicines and availability of affordable medicines in Malawi. It will also enhance the ability of regulatory public health authorities of both the countries to meet the needs of their respective populations and provide opportunities for technical cooperation in areas which are of mutual benefit. Following the signing of these 4 MOUs, the two leaders also witnessed the symbolic handing over of 1,000 metric tons of rice and the Bhabatron cancer treating machine to Malawi. Both these are gifts as a goodwill gesture from India to Malawi. As a humanitarian initiative, the Honorable President of India also announced the setting up of a permanent artificial limb replacement center for the people of Malawi. The Honorable President of India invited President Dr. Chakwera to visit India, which was graciously accepted. The mutually convenient dates for the visit would be finalized through the normal diplomatic channels. Friends, the visit of the Honorable President of India is continuing, and later in the evening today, President Chakwera will be hosting a state banquet in honor of the Honorable President of India at the State House. Tomorrow, Honorable President of India will be visiting the Sri Radhakrishna Temple in Lilongwe, which was established more than 50 years ago. To boost the tourism potential of Malawi, she will also be visiting the Lake Malawi before her departure for India from Malawi. Before concluding, friends, I would like to mention that this first ever presidential visit to Malawi will add a new chapter in the history of bilateral relations of India and Malawi. It reinforces the long-standing friendship between India and Malawi and sets the stage for elevating our multifaceted partnership with Malawi to greater heights. Zikomo Kwamberi. Thank you. Now I would open the floor. If you have any questions, me and my team, we would be very happy.
All right, that was a media briefing from Lilongwe, Malawi by India's External Affairs Ministry as President Murmu is on three-nation state visit, and this is the third and final leg of Honorable President of India's state visit. The visit is historic as President Murmu's visit to Algeria, Mauritania and Malawi is the first by an Indian head of state. There were various events that took place since the time President Murmu arrived in Malawi, including her address to the Indian community in Lilongwe, the capital of Malawi. Both India and Malawi discussed several bilateral issues. MoUs also signed between the two nations, and these include cooperation in art and culture, cooperation on youth matters, sports cooperation and pharmacopoeia cooperation. Cooperation on youth matters will have youth conferences, emerging youth as well. And cooperation in art and culture will include friendly cultural relations in the field of music, dance, among the others. President Murmu also invited President Chakwera to visit India. And news and updates will continue. You stay tuned to DD India.